out there?
Huh?
Were you out there during the presentation?
I was like bouncing in and out. I had to go get some coffee, dude. I was dying.
I guess the question is, were you out there when we talked about the name?
No, I missed it.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I'm sorry.
So it is cut. You were
telling
right
you.
there.
No.
Yeah.
Well, we're live. Yeah, so this is just we're hopping
Good.
right in. So
Nice.
I missed a little bit of their presentation. We got Carlos and Francisco of Yopaki, which I was saying how much I like the name. But where are you guys from? For those who don't know you, and what brings you here to Austin?
I'll start.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So feel free to move the mic as much as possible.
So I was born in, I don't know how your Mexico geography is, but I was born in Guadalajara.
Okay.
And grew up in Mexico City. I was 3 years old. So I grew up in Mexico City. And I was there till high school, then moved to Salt Lake. Super cold.
Salt Lake City?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a big transition.
That's a big transition.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually quite Salt Lake, but it's just easier to call it Salt Lake. It was Lehigh. That's really where I've been the last few years. And I moved to Austin a year and a half ago. Main reason was, family, work opportunities, and to build in Bitcoin.
Yeah, awesome. Cool.
And myself, I was born and raised in Acapulco.
Okay.
Down in the south, the pearl of the Pacific.
Okay.
That's how we call it. Then I went to study university, actuarial science in Mexico City. 5 years over there. Should have been 4. Also never practiced one day in my life. Actuarial science. But I moved then to Europe to study quantitative finance, which I didn't like.
Okay.
So I scam. And then computer science. That one I did like.
Okay.
Then I was a bit in Spain.
Okay.
And then for the pandemic and some personal affairs, I made it back to Acapulco in September 2020. So I'm based there back.
Okay, awesome. So, and then you guys were just presenting on Yopaki, which I do like the name. So tell us a little bit about the, the meaning behind the name too, because I guess I missed that part of the presentation. Yeah. And then what the company is and what your guys' goal of it is.
We thought it was funny about the name because we talked about it. We've had throughout the time, I don't know, maybe the last 2 months, I've had a number of people DM me and say, "Oh, dude, I love the name. I just don't know what it means," right?
Yeah.
And both. Like I've had girls and guys just be like, "Oh, that's the right name," and even people in Mexico that maybe they look it up. So Yopaki means the essence of being happy or becoming happy.
In Nahuatl.
In Nahuatl, which is an ancient Aztec language.
Oh wow! So
yeah.
I like the name even more because it sounds cool and it's got a good got a good meaning behind it too.
We did play around with it a little bit. It's spelled differently, but for the purpose of a Bitcoin company, it's shortened and it's easier to say. It's pretty simple. What we do is we are Mexico's Bitcoin only solution in terms of only Bitcoin, right? So dollar cost average, DCA, and of course the remittance aspect of payments, which that's going to be at a later phase. And because I live here, right?
Yeah.
And he's still in Mexico, so we have operations here and in Mexico. And something that I noticed that sometimes I miss out on, telling people, and I'm glad it came out. So although our goal is to Orange Bill Mexico, our operation is registered here in the US.
Yeah.
So like you can go out and you could, it's not available yet, but you could buy Bitcoin from Yopaki and then just send it to cold storage. So maybe that's something we need to remind people about.
Yeah.
But that's the as a layer 1 or as a phase 1, that's what we're focused on. DCA and remittance payments. There's an education aspect to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
We just announced a partnership with different institutions in Mexico that have allowed us to do workshops as a pilot, as a pilot testing and see how it goes. But we'll be teaching the content from my first Bitcoin.
Yeah. I actually had them on my podcast not too long ago.
Awesome,
so,
man.
They're John Denny.
He's the best, dude.
Yeah.
He's good. He's doing some good things. So we're going to be using that content to Orange Bill people down there. And there's also the team from Shamory. They focus on small kids.
Yeah, Scott and his wife. Yeah. They're great. Yeah.
They're awesome. So that's a layer one, phase one, I would call. I don't know if you want to add anything to it. No.
Yeah, there's some more technical questions.
Yes, maybe getting on the tech side. They asked them some good technical questions.
Yeah. Okay, so cool. Like, what are some of the? So where are you guys at? I guess in the development of the company, just like bird's eye, 1,000, I don't know, yard view or whatever.
We're progressing into checking off a gigantic list of red tape.
Yeah.
That I honestly, that's because everything lines up in terms of what we're doing. It's a proven model. The exchange model works, and the way we're doing it, which is Bitcoin only, is only going to help more people. But our projections would be to have a closed beta in Q3. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Sorry. You mean the closed beta? Yeah, the closed one where it's all everything is going to be testable.
Yes.
And so if.
Sorry, it's
it's
a low budget operation here. We got one mic for the two of you, but yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sorry. Well, Francisco was giving me the look of, is it really going to be Q3?
Yeah.
Yes, the closed beta is going to be Q3.
Okay.
Meaning no real Bitcoin, and no, well, fiat is not real money anyway, but no real fiat. Because we wouldn't have the access yet to the APIs to actually do that. So everything mocked for users to experience it and to test it out and to help us find bugs that there will be.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is in Q3. The red tape is now ticking all the boxes of the government forms and waiting for the decisions and interviews and all the plethora of requirements.
Yeah.
That is what is going to hold us back for Q4. According to even our pessimistic estimates of delivery times from government licensing, it's Q4, but it's not.
Not guaranteed.
And that came up as one of the questions out there, which we know, like we are aware of this. Why hasn't anybody else done this? It's not like Mexico's a hidden country, right?
Yeah.
We talked about population, we talked about numbers, we talked about remittance numbers, we talked about growth. 15th largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
So it's not a secret, but people ask, and very rightly so, why isn't Strike or why isn't Swan or all of our favorite companies doing this? Because it's a nightmare. I don't know if I can cuss, but I was going to say.
No, yeah, go for it.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
It really is. So it involves a combination of understanding the culture, understanding the law, having compliance team hired by us, living down there. And a bunch of other things we probably shouldn't disclose, but
yeah. Well, is the red tape on the U.S. side or is it on the Mexico side?
The Mexico side.
90% of it on the Mexican side.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is on that side.
So why is that? You think? Do you think that it's because they don't want is it because you guys are a more American-based company going to be operated, or is it?
No. Look, on that way, I have my particular view of Mexico. So people nowadays think of Mexico as this free country, which in some respects we are. Freer than here in the States for some stuff, not free at all in many other respects. Mexico till the early 1990s was a dictatorship. The free trade agreement changed that. Good or bad, it's a reality, and it brought more good than bad. But those dictators or friend of dictators, they're still in power somehow. Who is the main affected party with the fintech law?
The people in power, right?
Banks.
Yeah, banks. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So
did something happen with banks this week?
Yeah, I think a little thing happened with banks this week. I don't know.
No, just the usual.
Just the usual.
That's true.
I think that alone got approved for 50 billion francs.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So where was I? I was saying about banks. Yeah. So imagine that a government with goodwill would say, we want fintech companies to actually be delivering services in Mexico, be it Mexican, be it American, be it from wherever. And the banks are going to say, yeah, but they should probably report operations as we do, right?
Yeah.
And because they pay the political campaigns, they're going to say, okay,
that's facts.
Yeah. And probably they should also report KYC and AML, right? Yeah, they should. And they should also, a fintech company at the end of the day has 80% of the requirements of a bank in terms of client-facing problems.
Mhm.
Nothing to do with research, nothing to do with credit, because anyways we wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Let's not do this debasing system. But the thing is that we need to report to the authorities KYC, AML, and transactions pretty much as a bank.
To exist. That's the
Yeah.
only way we can exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so essentially you need to basically go through, instead of like the 80% regulations, they're basically trying to look at you guys as like a bank and just regulate the hell out of you.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the way to put it. Yeah,
Jesus
and that's
Christ.
the way we do it. Maybe 5 years down the road, things change, and we are in that prime position to have Orange build an entire country. But in the meantime, yeah, that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
all of that communication between APIs and stuff, that's obviously the expertise. Dude, have you ever seen Billions? Have you watched the show?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the quants.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's his title,
Yeah.
or one of your school titles. He's
Well, who is he? Who is he in the show? Is he Axelrod, or is he Taylor, or is he?
So Taylor hires quants.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Taylor is a quant.
I think she was.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah. I
Maybe
think
you're
she
right.
was a-
But
was
yeah,
a
dude,
quant,
that's yeah. So, it's really interesting how we kind of found each other, because we're both Mexicans living in different countries, and we connected with a similar goal to bring this, even with the super long list of red tape and nightmare. Like, two crazy Mexicans will be the only ones to say, hey, let's do this, and it's gonna be really hard, but let's do it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the origin story then. How did you guys meet? And then how did you, I guess, did you guys come up with this like a separate idea, or did you come up with it kind of after you met together?
I think it's a combination of both. And dude, you can interrupt me at any time.
It was via Tony, right?
It was via Tony. Yeah.
First thing,
It was someone, a mutual connection.
Yeah.
But it's for me personally, it's something that I have been brewing on and thinking on for a long time.
Yeah.
When I was finally introduced to Carlos by someone that works in the Bitcoin space, this person said, hey, I think I know someone that aligns with what you're trying to build, and I think he lives in Mexico. I honestly thought, no way, that's no way. He's like, yeah, I think you should talk to him. He's bright. I think you guys have different skill sets and they can combine. So set up a call, and I think even from the first time we spoke, it was like we clicked. Like it was a cool interaction, and then I think I found out we were already following each other on Twitter or not. that was
and also this other connection, like we both knew my ex will be continuing.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was a big one. Yeah.
So you worked for Bull Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I was
Awesome.
verified.
Yeah.
Initially for verified and for Bull Bitcoin. I remember that these guys were telling me, yeah, we know this Mexican in Austin. It's like, yeah, who doesn't? Everyone knows there are Mexican in Austin. Like, no, but he's also Bitcoiner. You should have met him. I actually was here at BitLab last year. So was Francisco, and we never met. We met
That's crazy. But I did meet the rest
yeah.
of the team.
Yeah.
But not him.
So we actually shared the room at some point.
We did.
We
did.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I do remember saying it was just when I said, hey, so this is what I'm thinking, blah, blah, blah. He goes, huh. In a way, he kind of, not sarcastic, but you said, well, dude, you're not the only one thinking of doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I've been thinking of doing that too. So
the question is, how badly do you want it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So then you guys met, and then like kind of through mutual friends, and you got it all started. And then now it seems like you guys are having I guess you're running through the difficulties through the whole thing together, right?
Yes.
Kind of working through that. So what did you come here to Austin, and you're here at PlebLab doing Startup Day.
Mhm.
Like, what are you looking to get out of it? In either today or tomorrow or like this weekend throughout the week.
I think primarily we're trying to catch that momentum because there since we announced the basically joining PlebLab and some of the other things that we've been talking about quietly, because we've been talking for more than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Once you come out and say, hey, this is our intent, it does give us a little bit of an advantage, but we don't have the resources that other big boys do, right? So the one thing that we wanted to get out of this is, hey, we're here, we're not playing,
Yeah.
and our next phase of big events to happen is, we're opening our seed round in the next few weeks. So
Okay, awesome.
that's going to be
Yeah.
the next big step. While we're still dealing with all the regulation stuff, that is of right now, we have to bootstrap. And,
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, do you mind disclosing like how much like you guys are looking to raise in the seed, all that kind of stuff, or do you want to keep that I guess closer to the vest?
Maybe that one's to be determined. I
Okay.
mean, and anybody will tell you, the more you raise, the better.
Yeah.
Because we can really focus on expanding the team.
Yeah, exactly.
As incredibly enthusiastic as we can be, we are gonna need a lot of help.
Yeah.
So
Especially it seems like with dealing a lot of this red tape.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Hiring people who know how to get around it, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, if you know someone that wants to start, with a 5 million seed, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, if anybody's looking to help raise like $5 million for my media,
Let's go, man.
my DMs are open too. But no, I mean it's awesome what you guys are doing, and yeah, I mean it is pretty interesting because like you said, the exchange model is already proven and out there, right? I mean we have the remittance with Strike in other various countries like LATAM and now Africa and other places too. So yeah, and it is interesting too that you've seen like you guys mentioned Bull Bitcoin already in Canada. Obviously it's big here in the US. How do you think like adoption is for Bitcoin in Mexico? Is there like an exchange in Mexico that you can just purchase Bitcoin or?
Yeah, there is.
There are exchanges
Yes.
in Mexico, and there are means of getting a Bitcoin exchanges in Mexico, even if they are not based in Mexico. Unluckily, some exchanges go into they attract degenerate gambling.
Yeah.
Via shitcoins.
Yeah, so like shitcoin casinos opposed to
100%.
opposed to I guess Bitcoin only exchanges.
And it's a different value proposition that they may offer. They are custodial of their funds. We don't want. It's
Yeah.
your Bitcoin. The moment that you pay for it, the moment that we get the pesos, we execute the order, you get the Bitcoin. That's it. We are never going to hold it for you.
I gotcha.
We need to hold the pesos for a while, of course, because we need to transact them to this and that and that. But in theory, we're never going to hold your funds.
Yeah.
We are never going to feel entitled to, and certainly we are not going to pull a fucking FTX.
Yeah.
No chance.
That's what a lot of people are afraid of, which is another reason why this opportunity is great, right? To educate people into forget about all the NFTs and forget about all the shit coins. You don't have to go this route.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna say this.
Yeah, and I was gonna say again. I can go on and on forever on why some of the value propositions of Bitcoin are not really extremely valid in a. I'm not saying that they're false. I'm saying that people don't care about them in Mexico.
Yeah.
Banking the unbank. It sounds amazing, but that's great for probably the inner Amazonian jungle, Brazil,
Or Africa.
Or some extreme remote areas of Southeast Asia or Siberia. But in Mexico, we have these shops called Oxxos, which is the Mexican equivalent of 7-Eleven.
Okay.
They are ubiquitous
Everywhere.
My father's village has 3,
Oh.
and it's small village. I wouldn't say tiny, but it's a small village.
Yeah.
And there, with just your ID, you get a bank card, you download the app, and you can make transfers the same way that you would do it with any big bank in Mexico. At least transferring money and receiving money, that's done.
Yeah.
I mean, some people get shocked, but my cleaning lady has a bank account to which I transfer whenever I don't have cash to pay her.
Yeah.
Banking the bank does not apply in Mexico.
Yeah, so majority of the population already has bank accounts or some sort of
Mhm.
access to bank accounts. So
Exactly.
that value proposition of Bitcoin, although it may be beneficial to some areas of the world, not in Mexico.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, inflation hedge.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that right now, given this corrupt system,
Mm-hmm.
the factual inexistence of a middle class right now, you would say, wait. Inflation hedging is big. Why isn't it happening right now with an 8%, 9%, 10, 12, whatever percent
whatever
inflation
it is,
we have? So because now that there is no middle class, we only have effectively the upper class, especially in Mexico, which is
very true.
a difference much higher.
So the gap in between, I guess, the upper class and the lower class is pretty significant.
It is.
Yes, the upper class. If you go and speak with a rich Mexican, mate, I can protect your money from inflation. Because of which money?
Yeah.
I just have enough for going on holidays, mate. Like, aren't you rich? Yes, I have a lot of merchandise. I have lots of real estate. I have a lot of business that I'm not interested into storing as cash.
Yeah.
Not interested.
So they have,
Look, you can make it liquid. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have enough for going on holidays. Whenever I need more, I sell more. That's it. They don't care about it.
So they're asset rich, you would say.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the poor people,
Yeah, they're not.
are they going to
saving.
protect the 50, 100, 200 pesos that they have at the end of the paycheck, which amounts to $10 US?
Yeah.
No, they're going to spend it the following week.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem that people don't seem to understand. And then we can be in a echo chamber, just saying inflation hedge,
Yeah.
Bank Indian Bank. Go there, try explaining that.
Well, okay, so I have a question for you. So, I mean, we've seen it in Canada where, the government is kind of taking control and seized bank accounts. And, there has been instances here in the United States, although it's not as prevalent.
True.
So even though, majority of Mexicans are banked, is there kind of a scenario or instances maybe in history or, maybe recently, I don't know, where that, maybe bank accounts have been frozen or inability to access some funds or maybe some difficulty in that?
Every day, mate. That you're innocent, you're proven guilty.
Mhm.
That's not always the case in
I
Mexico.
mean, yeah,
It's a
it's
different-
I feel like in the United States too. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
maybe in the
Real days.
in the old days or in the quote unquote legal system, but especially like with the spread of news and everything like that, you're guilty until proven innocent. For sure.
Exactly, and that is some cases. Some people may say, well, that only affects rich people that are in these positions that they can have access to millions and millions. But it can happen to you. I know a guy that was accused. It's a famous form of a scam right now in Mexico. He is the nicest guy ever, and he's too shy. I cannot imagine him pulling this. But he was a boss, public boss, and this girl started shouting, he's touching me.
Oh God, here we go.
The police were involved. It has nothing to do with the feminazis or anything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's just a scam. The police got involved. He spent a week in jail. The family were trying to get the money. He did have the money. He had some couple thousand pesos there to pay for the lawyers and this and this and this and that. But the money was frozen. And even if it wasn't frozen, he couldn't access it because he was physically in jail. So he couldn't access that much money.
Mhm.
Because ATMs in Mexico can only give you up to 9,000 pesos per day, give or take, which is about 400, 500 US. Because if you want to make a big transaction, you have to pre-declare it sometimes with your bank executive.
Oh man.
And sometimes when you're transferring to a new account, the central bank, because all our bank transfers go through a central bank, the central bank stops it for a while to see what's going on. And there's actually a manual check, or so they say. Probably sometimes they just randomize it.
Probably.
Yeah.
But whatever. If you want money instantly,
Yeah.
forget it. And especially foreign money.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why only big players can move a big amount of dollars from the US to Mexico. And from Europe, forget about it.
Yeah. All right, so then there's the use case, but I mean,
There is a
on
use
that
case.
thing, right? I mean, is that kind of like, do you get when you tell people that use case of Bitcoin, do they kind of give, I don't know, like roll the eyes, like, okay, that's not going to happen to me. It's like one little one-off instance or something like that. Is that kind of what you're seeing with that, or
Yeah,
do people
yeah,
kind of, I guess, grasp that? Like, is it? I guess the way I'm trying to word it is it more of a regular occurrence than maybe most people expect, or is
Probably what you're asking, if I may,
Yeah, go
what
for
you're
it.
saying is whether people care about the sovereignty of their money.
exactly.
The problem is that they don't understand the concept of money other than government's money,
Yeah,
and they cannot even imagine
Yeah.
what is sovereignty and what is
Yeah. Like
sovereign
being,
money.
yeah.
So your question, as valid as it is something that the average Mexican wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
just answer.
Okay, interesting. Well, yeah. So then, so you guys are obviously starting an education arm to to your business and everything, and the exchange and everything like that. So, what do you think that you're going to try to focus that educational content around that can like really suit your audience?
High school and universities. First
That's
off,
it.
that's a level.
Yeah.
And about the content,
Yeah, in terms of
Okay.
education, it really has to be that high school and university level. The content in that book that you probably have seen, from
Yeah.
the conversations, it's not really just for high schools.
Yeah.
It's for us. It's for your parents. It's really for anybody.
Yeah.
It takes you all the way from what it is at a really basic level
Uh-huh.
into really transferring into your cold wallet. I mean, it does a fantastic job. So the fact that it's open source, oh man,
Yeah.
that's even more bullish, right? So
You're talking about the book from
yeah. Now, for us, I mean, if we develop that into a more structured curriculum later on, because as of right now, there's not a certificate or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're using what's available with now the green light of these schools.
Okay.
But that could develop into something more serious as we go along.
Yeah, so when you're giving it to these schools, like what's the format with that? Is it like, I don't know, an online course or something? Or are one of you going to go down and are you hiring
It's in
teachers?
person. It's not us. There's Bitcoiners. We're fortunate to have Bitcoiners who also share similar values and
Okay.
who also share similar, how should I put it, man? Social advantages.
Yeah.
Yes, that they can use some of their free time to do this
Okay.
operationally, and they're doing it. To me, this is one of the things we kind of talked about on the presentation. The most humbling part of saying we exist a couple of weeks ago was the number of Bitcoiners that reached out and said, "Hey, how can I help?"
Yeah.
And then when we finally set up a conversation with more than a handful, I'm going to say maybe 8, just the willingness to say, "Put me to work because I want you to succeed."
Yeah, for sure.
It's amazing, man. And at one point, I even said, "Hey, you're gonna have to be patient with me because I'm about to enter a funding round and yada yada yada." So right now, like, whoa, relax.
Yeah.
I put me to work. I can do it, and I want to do it. So that has translated into a bunch of things. And the last thing we announced is, you used to live in Austin, right?
Yes, I did.
When did you move?
So I moved out of here in 2012. But basically, my
Okay.
family's still here, but I went to college in 2012, so I didn't really live here, I guess, full time. But I lived back here in the
Okay.
summers and all that.
So
stuff.
the reason I asked that is because in 2021, the Austin Bitcoin Club did a Bitcoin block party here in Austin, and it was
Yeah.
huge, man. Like
Yeah, on Rainy Street with
a rainy
Yeah.
street.
So I wasn't here during that,
But you know about
unfortunately, but I heard about it. Yeah, with
That's really cool.
Yeah, I know it's awesome stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's really cool as like an outsider looking in,
Sure.
seeing all this stuff going on here in Austin, and like you hear about it a lot. But that's what a big reason why I wanted to come back this
Yeah.
week and hang out at PlebLab, and luckily Carr's been very nice in letting me come in and pull people
Take the
and just
studio
like use the studio and do all that kind of stuff and talk to people like you to see
That's
what's
so
going
cool,
on.
man.
So,
That's so cool.
yeah, I mean, like the scene from Austin is outstanding. Like I've said this like a few times on the various streams that I've done throughout the week. But if you can ever get a chance, those that are watching, to come in here and like really witness what's going on, do a drop in at PlebLab and stick around here for a day, 2, or a week or something like that. I think that experience is like really invaluable, just because of what you're outlining here. Is that
100%,
you get access to a lot of great Bitcoiners, and it's not just like, all right, they're great minds or whatever, and they're busy and they're whatever, you can go to the water cooler here, grab a drink, go to lunch or whatever, and just like talk to some of these great people. Like, hey, I'm working on XYZ problem, and they'll help you talk it out, and they'll really help you work through it. So, I mean, I think like you can't even really put a price on that.
No, it's contagious.
Yeah.
And just to close that out on the whole Bitcoin block party. So that happened, and that's really when the inspiration of, oh man, something's got like, I gotta build something.
Yeah.
This is before we had even met, right? But then that inspired. Well, we're actually doing a Bitcoin block party down in
Mexico. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Damn, that is all right. So, what are the details on that?
So so it's May.
Okay.
We just need final confirmation
I
on
gotcha.
a few of the venues and bars and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
It's-
Well, yeah, when
Keep you posted, man.
yeah, keep me posted. I'll
Yeah.
try to blast that out as much
That's
as I
awesome.
can
I
and do all
appreciate
that
you.
stuff. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
For sure. So, all right. So you guys are doing the seed phrase, or not the seed raise, not seed phrase.
Let me write it down.
Yeah. There we go. So
words.
yeah, you're doing the seed raise coming up, and then you're looking to put out the beta, and then Q4 ish time is hopefully when you guys are getting approved.
Yep.
So then, what's the full trajectory that you guys got for maybe like not the end of this year, maybe the year after? Like, what's the goal after you get it implemented in some schools and other things like that? Are you guys hoping to be, I guess, fully operational by what is it,
2024?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, obviously the answer would be yes.
Yeah.
We'll see how things go, but
Yeah.
at that stage, it's interesting because someone asked a similar question, and it was like a pretty positive, like, oh wow, sounds really cool. So what happens once you get there, right?
Mhm.
Like what's your next step? The next natural step would be growth, but that growth comes from additional devs, additional marketing,
Yeah.
an additional push of, hey, we really are the premier Bitcoin only name that anyone that thinks Mexico, I want them to think, hey, Yopaki, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like what we think here. When I think Bitcoin in the US, a lot of times I think Swan or Strike,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and they do a great job of marketing. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're going for, to have a trusted educational partner that happen to be Mexican founders.
Yeah.
By
Oh, and also on a funny side note on that one. So here, all exchanges can promote themselves with ads here in the States.
oh yeah, that's the other one.
In Mexico, it's not allowed.
You have to be
can.
creative.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to be creative. For instance, for a team in the Premier League in Mexico, there is actually a sponsor. There is a crypto exchange.
Mhm.
I don't know how they went around it.
Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah, but imagine just at the bus stop that you would see Yopaki, the best way to get Bitcoin. You cannot do that in Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy because I mean,
Yeah.
you still go around. I think New York City and like Chicago.
Yeah.
You still see Sam Bankman-Fried and his dumbass haircut, so like looking at you all the time.
I actually want to get one of those. They would make amazing dartboards.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
that's
Well,
true.
I don't know if you guys saw. There's a Bitcoin magazine with like the Sam Bankman-Fried,
Oh, yeah.
and he's got the big nose like right
That's
over
good,
there
that's
too.
good.
Yeah, so it's good stuff. But man, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's like maybe a conference. I don't know. Maybe that could be like something like a
That's-
Mexican Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, I mean,
There was a BTC++.
yeah, that's true. So that's actually
what.
where we actually hung out in person.
Yeah.
Prior to that,
BTC plus
Yeah.
plus.
BTC++ is a privacy focused. Oh yeah, sorry. BTC++ is a privacy focused conference. There's been one in Austin last year. There will be another
Yeah.
one, I think, coming up.
Yeah, I think
next
that I can't
month and a half
remember.
or
They
so.
were talking about it a little bit
Yeah.
earlier this week. I can't remember what the details are.
Yeah,
on it,
yeah.
I don't
So
wanna misquote.
It's a good one for privacy focused builders and devs. Maybe what you're saying is, what about a more structured, bigger type of conference? To be fully transparent, I mean, if this Bitcoin block party is a success, it could be a good measure
Yeah.
of hey, what kind of people are going, yeah.
What's
Who's-
the excitement
what's
level?
the interest?
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now the excitement focus, because for instance in BTC++, if you're an app developer,
Mhm.
probably a wallet developer, and at least they're doing just some features, you may or not be that interested in privacy.
Mhm.
Like the conference in Miami.
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah.
It's now irrelevant for me as a developer,
Yeah.
as a true Bitcoiner. It's not irrelevant for me.
Yeah, it's
that
interesting.
one's more of a shill.
It-
shill.
Yeah,
It is.
No
It
offense
is.
to everybody.
No,
listening.
it's.
I
it's
mean,
a lot of
like
fun.
it's a great one because
It's a lot
there's
of
like
fun.
30,000
a
people
lot of
there,
fun.
and it's big. But for what it is, it's I go to that one just for like seeing other people because I know
Yeah.
other people.
Yes,
are gonna
I
be
think
there.
most people feel that way.
Yeah, and like
Which
where
makes it a good conference for
Yeah.
that purpose, right?
yeah, but there's like there's BitBlock Boom here,
That's-
which is good. Good
that's it.
Bitcoin only
Yes,
one. I know
and
Gary's over
the
there.
technical side of BitBlock, I love it.
Yeah.
I love that there is. So we don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna
If
see
the
like
big
how the
party in Mexico City is gonna be mostly developers, mostly people that want to protect their privacy, or just people that have general curiosity for which
For what Bitcoin
resources like my primer Bitcoin would be the right one.
yeah.
We don't know that yet. We're gonna find out soon.
I gotcha. So yeah, you can figure out a little bit of your audience and then like kind of like the vibe, I guess, of Bitcoin in Mexico as to like where people kind of want to take it.
We'll definitely keep you posted on that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I know that if you're looking for another one, I know we have a couple people here from Atlanta, and they say the TAB conference.
TAB conference is great.
Yeah, I haven't been.
I haven't been from what I've heard, and I know some of the organizers, Michael Tidwell.
Yeah, here if you want to really get into the weeds with development and stuff like that, that's a really good one. But thank you guys so much for coming on and spending some time here with me. I know I kept you a little longer than I said initially. So, but for those who want to learn more about your company and more about you guys, where can they find you? And Twitter, Noster, and all that.
So Twitter at Yopaki Bitcoin.
How do you spell it?
So YOPAKI.
Okay.
Bitcoin altogether, no dots in between. And sign up to the waitlist at yopaki.com. So there's a wait list, and we'll keep you informed of any type of relevant updates. I'm on Twitter, Francisco BTC.
Okay.
Especially if you're in Mexico, doesn't matter, preferably in the south, but anywhere in Mexico, please do contact me at Bitcoin at Carlos Chida. Carlos, you know how that goes, but the surname is CHID as in Denver, A. Cheetah.
Cheetah. I like that. Like cheetah, almost like the animal, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And cheetah actually means cool in Mexican slang.
Oh, there we go. There we go. I like that.
It does.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, Yopaki. We'll be on the lookout for you. And
Let's
then,
go.
yeah, when you guys are doing a launch or something, let me know, and I'll get you back on the pod and we'll talk about it.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, man. It was a great conversation. I appreciate you guys coming in.
Thanks, Brandon.
All right, man. All right, yeah. If you guys could get the next guy who's presenting, I think like
Gary.
they're doing. Oh, Gary's.
Gary was presenting, but he's probably done.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you could get him in here, that would be outstanding.
Dude, if you get Gary,
Yeah. I mean, if he wants to come in and let me plug it
for you.
Yeah.
Gary seems like he would.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if not, I'll just I'll listen to myself talk for a little bit and just and do all that. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one. All right, that was Yopaki from Mexico. They're going to look to be the premier Mexican exchange in Bitcoin. Let me adjust this camera right there real quick. All right, so yeah, you guys go be sure to follow Yopaki and what they are doing here or for Mexico, because also, as you heard, they do have some hurdles potentially to come up, but so giving them a follow, kind of showing the boost of what they're doing and what they're trying to do for Mexico, I think, just will overall help a lot of, maybe get through some of that red tape if there's the demand there. So yeah, if you show up, sign up for the wait list and do all that kind of stuff to help those guys out because they're great dudes. And I had a lot of fun talking to them. But also, if you're listening on Twitter or on YouTube, like the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would really help me out and kind of push this stuff forward. And retweet it if you're listening. Like I said, on Twitter, help spread some of this great stuff going on here. Here in Austin, Texas, in the Bitcoin mecca. We're seeing a lot of great builders, great people kind of going along, and man, overall just great stuff. I know this afternoon schedule is a little bit more variable, so I'm not quite sure. I know Gary Leland of BitBlock Boom was presenting, I believe. So if he can potentially come back here. I know maybe Max of Eden 3D Printing. He's been on the show before, but I don't know if he was presenting or not. I know it's, like I said, it's a little bit more variable, kind of going on that way. So, yeah, great stuff going on here and pretty exciting. I'm about to go follow Yopaki. That name is just fire. I absolutely love that name. It's just a ton of fun to say. Yo Pocky, there we go. Yeah, Yo Pocky Bitcoin. Just hit them with a follow. So if you're yeah, if you're out here and you're just watching this and doing all this great stuff, so be sure to check that out as soon as you can. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to everybody who's retweeting this and spreading the good word. I really do appreciate that. I don't know what's going on with my Twitter these days. I think my notifications got turned off for some reason. All right, well, I'll play around with that in a minute. But yeah, great stuff going on here. Super excited to just be here and be able and have the ability to cover all these things and go through that all with you guys. So I hope you're enjoying it. There it is. Oh, I don't know why that was yeah. I guess Joey says my sound is it's a little fuzzy. I don't know. Maybe I touched something or other. But yeah, let me see if this mic. Maybe it's this one. Hello, check. It sounds a little less fuzzy. I don't know. Maybe it was that. We'll see. As we're going forward with this, doesn't sound as loud now. Test. All right, this one seems a little bit better, but maybe that's it though. It's because it's too loud. And it's picking it all up. I don't know. I do hear the little fuzz that Joey's talking about. Test. But now I feel like all right. There's the sound coming through, so hopefully it's working and sounding a little bit better for you guys. I do appreciate you guys all coming in here and listening and checking out all these great companies and all these great people kind of coming in and PlebLab. So I mean, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, we do have Gary Leland and some of these other big time people coming in here in PlebLab and seeing all the great companies and great people coming in. So yeah, I'm gonna go out here in a second and kind of check out what we're doing, what they're kind of looking at, and see if I can snag somebody else. I know we're coming up on 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern time. So thank you all for tuning in and checking this one out. But give me one quick second, and I will I'll do that, and I'll see if I can snag somebody. So we do have Max presenting right now of Eden 3D printing. I don't know quite how long his thing is going to take. I don't know when he started or anything like that because I've been chilling back here. So yeah, I'll wait a little bit and see. Yeah, maybe I'll get somebody to pop in here and figure out what or hop in and just hang out for a little bit. But yeah, great stuff. Yeah, so if you guys are listening on the stream, let me know if it sounds as fuzzy. I adjusted something. So we'll see if it, I guess after further notice, I did hear the little fuzz that he was describing. So hopefully it sounds a little bit better. Yes, it doesn't sound as fuzzy on this one either. But I don't know, folks. I'm just out here. I'm just a measly podcaster. I don't know how these things are working back and forth. Well, let's check in on this March Madness tournament that we got going on here. I did give out some picks earlier today. Ooh, first pick did not hit. I am 0-1 today, and it's projected to go 0-2 as oh shit. I'm on like if I'm giving you guys picks these days, I'm just fade me. I am not doing swell. It is my fucking gambling picks are just trash. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Joey, I see the chat. You said open the chat. Is the chat not open? It should be open. I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, I mean I'm waiting here for snap capture. I don't know what he's talking about. It says I'm recording. I'm live streaming this, but there's no people in here. Yeah. Oh shit. I don't want to hear my own voice. That's not cool. So yeah, I mean let's see. Let's hear it right now. I can hear it in my headphones. I don't know. This is great audio content that I'm giving to you guys, where I can hear it on my headphones, and then I'm texting this group chat to see if see how the audio sounds. So overall, just I mean this low budget operation that I'm working here, where I'm just workshopping and using other people's equipment because I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. You know, it's all that. So. All right. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go try to grab Max too. Let's see how he's doing. I'm trying to keep doing that. I don't know if I think I just got like a scan page. Somebody just tried to scan the USPS. I don't know if other people get those kind of things, but I just got a text message that the package cannot be delivered when I didn't order anything. I'm sure it does, but the mic isn't being used for the stream, which I don't fucking doesn't make any sense because it is. MacBook speaker. I don't know. Is this not? Yeah, so that's not. Test. I don't know. Joey thinks that the mic isn't working. Everybody else says it sounds fine. I don't know, man. I don't know. I give up. Trust me, it's not that mic. It's the setup. Take your headphones off and go back and listen to the audio from the stream earlier with the two guys. Yeah, bro. I know. I'm sorry, guys, if it's not great audio. It's like using, I don't know, it's like this road is what it's called, an Apex onboard. Does that make sense, Joey? I know, isn't this great? Live tech support, quality content. But I'm yeah, on that note too, for those who are kind of like powering through with me, I appreciate it. But I'm going to I'm going to chop this up too and like put the videos out for all these guys in like the 30-ish minute clips. So they have that for them, and then you guys can see each company kind of broken up if you didn't want to hang out with this. When I do the drop down on StreamYard, here we go. Obviously the camera shows up. I have like a side camera, but then the mic, it says it's a Logitech Brio, and I don't know what that means. And then I have that's the default, and then I have that as another option, and then it's the NDI audio, which is virtual, and then the eCam interface virtual as the mic. So I don't know. I'm gonna click them. Oh shit, that is the camera. No. I don't think you're right on that. I don't know, maybe you are. I reset up this mic. It's a Logitech Brio mic. Damn, that's fucked up, dude. But I did reset this up today, actually. So it doesn't sound that great, huh? So, I mean, if I talk over here, you can still hear me? What the fuck? Holy shit. But then why is the Rodecaster not plugged in? I guess that's from, they had to change the setup today. Huh, I don't know how it's plugged into the computer or what. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Joey. But I don't know where the fuck that would be plugged out of. I gotta see this connection real quick. Ah. I don't know. Let's see it. Let's see if I found it. All right, Joey. How about now? How does it sound? How does it sound now? I did it. I'm a fucking genius. Holy shit. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the fuck. It works, baby. I got it. I'm sorry, everybody. I guess I've been doing that all day today, but it hasn't been that way. It's been the actual mics for the rest of the week. We had to change the setup today because they're using the new mics for the startup day. So they unplugged and moved some stuff around. So I didn't, I guess, check the settings and go into doing all that. I had to go find another camera and do all that stuff. So, damn. How's this? Can you hear me on the other one? Test 1, 2. Let me know, Joey. Live tech support here. Yeah. Can you hear me? I'm testing the other mic. Yep. Works great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Joey. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for powering through with me, buddy. All right, now I'm going to go try to find the next guest and try to bring them in here after I just did that. So, I mean, I'm sure that you were able to hear the last guy, right? I mean, the last two. I mean, hopefully it wasn't too terrible. Those guys were awesome. So I really hope I didn't fuck that up too bad.
All right. God bless my brother in Christ. I appreciate you. All right, let's go get Max of 3D printing. The most elusive man in the biz, dude. I've been looking for you for like 20 minutes here. I think like
I know, where'd he go?
Yeah, I think your whatchamacallit got your presentation got like pushed back a little bit, didn't it? Or was it delayed or what?
Well, I was on the phone outside.
Oh, I gotcha.
And then Card calls me. I'm like, oh, I gotta go. And then I just ate a hot pepper.
Oh man, you need some water. Well,
No,
water
I'm
for you.
good. No, we need some lightning water.
Oh.
That's what we need. Lightning water. Check it out. But my laptop wasn't working.
Oh man,
So
here
I was
we
like,
go.
oh my God, everything that I just went and set up, I can't use.
You gotta talk into the mic.
Am I talking? How was that?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a little mic issues here myself this whole time. So I guess like the setup, we changed it because the mics and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
there we go.
Because so we changed it a little bit because of cars using some mics, and he took this camera, and I had to go get this camera from a different room.
Yeah.
So
isn't that camera?
yeah, so he has two of them, so I had to go change this whole setup. So I mean, look at this chat here. I have my buddy Joey from the Canadian Bitcoiners. He's been helping me troubleshoot live to figure out what was going on with the mics, because like he could hear, but it was like the Logitech mic on this thing. So I had some issues myself, dude. So I could definitely relate. I mean, that's why we're here at PlebLab, right? I mean, we're bootstrapping, figuring things out as it goes.
Absolutely, that's all you can do.
Yeah,
it's just boots, boots on the go. Shoot it from the hip, baby. That's all you can go
figuring it out as we go, dude.
Yes,
so all right, so for those who might have missed our podcast episode and don't know you, who are you and what you come down here to present on?
I am Max Sikorsky. You can find me on Twitter, full name. I build 3D printers with the Garden of Eden, and that's Eden 3D printer. So
yeah, there we go.
We can kind of go from there.
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit before, and I've talked to you a few times about it. So what is like the overall goal of Eden 3D printers? It's not 3D printing, right? It's about being able to distribute 3D printers. Is that correct?
Yeah, everybody can go and 3D print. Just go and buy a machine and download a file and start printing. What you really can't do is get the tooling available readily at your disposal to turn your thoughts into things. So what's the best workflow, and that's only through education with the highest quality tools and knowledge that you have ready to go.
There we go. All right. So, all right, where are you based out of, and how's business going, and what did you? I guess I'm going to ask you like 3 different questions, but what did you come down here to try to accomplish?
Yeah, so we're actually based in Ohio. We're in northern part of Ohio. Just forgot your second part of the question, but we came down here really to support PlebLab for the SatSpy hackathon. Been kind of an informal founding member of PlebLab. That's from BTC Connector, actually. We know him very well.
Shout out Justin.
Yeah, shout out Justin. Hope you're doing well, man. And we kind of helped. I don't want to say that I helped start PlebLab, but it was definitely in Carr and Kyle's ear, on occasion when we were down here at BitBlock Boom, or we were at TabConf or different areas like that. So we really came down here to go and support PlebLab, but also go and showcase what the plebs can actually do. You can go and buy a printer at Micro Center. You can go and download a design and print. But how do you is again very similar to Bitcoin, right? You can go and buy Bitcoin on an exchange and leave it there. But what's the knowledge and the skill set that you need to go and self-custody yourself?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what I'm attempting to do for you as well. How can I go and provide the proper tooling, both hardware and software, for you to get the most efficiency and impact out of your thoughts and actually turn them into a physical product in your hand? Again, you can just see a very basic wristband. And if you flip it on the inside out, you could see a small little micro USB card that, thank God, it is still in there for the past 2 or 3 years now. I think 3 years or so.
Wow. That's awesome.
So there, again, so many different things you could do.
Why have you kept this micro USB in here? Is it just as a demo or what?
No, there's actually information on there.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, there's actually a couple books on there. And
is it really?
Yeah. There's actually, if you plug it in, there's probably
this is awesome.
There's some pretty substantial. Try to break it too. Just try to rip it.
Try to break it.
I dare you. Just try to rip it.
Rip.
Oh yeah, just rip it. Just straight. Yeah.
You're gonna make me look weak on air. Come on, dude. You can't do that. Look, I've been working out. I'll flex a little bit, huh?
Yeah,
I mean, come on. Look at that, man.
God Almighty, what great quality!
Man.
Thank God for the Logitech camera. But yeah,
exactly.
Again, it's really whatever you want it to make out of. I know, just for a backdrop there, I know it's very difficult to see, but you have a very, very tiny little micro USB.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Again, I didn't kind of like in the presentation I was just getting at earlier. There are certain things that I believe we need to improve on production, mainly proof, who produced what, where it came from, when it was produced. That's why I gave the example of the stacking sats character that we did. Shout out to the Bitcoin company. Matt Odell, Marty Bent over at Rabbit Hole Recap and Tales from the Crypt. That was their initial, design. But how do you go and say, okay, this is an Eden 3D product? Tap it.
Yeah.
Tap it. It'll take you. We know we signed a Bitcoin message on there. Okay. No need for any of this ordinals and inscription junk. Just go and sign a regular Bitcoin message, people.
Yeah.
And that's proof enough to know where something came from. So just imagine what you can kind of do with that from there. And we really saw that proliferation. That was April of 2022. And it really immediately after that, I know a lot of people were working on stuff, but you see the explosion of the, tap signer and, your Sats card and, all these other, and thank God I was talking to Evan Kalutis, shout out to Evan Kalutis at Zeus, finally got NFC capabilities enabled on, Zeus for you to go and receive your Lightning or send Lightning, through a tap. So those kind of very unique ways, I find I'm very early and on the fringe of things. Yeah. And it definitely pays off over time. But what impact did you make? It's not any greed. It's not any, it's where it came from and stuff. There was other people doing that before, but what impact are you going to leave behind? Did you make it a better place?
Yeah.
I feel that I made it a better place to say, when you buy an Eden 3D product, you can cryptographically verify without paying any sats or, again, inscriptions, a counterparty, so on and so forth. I can verify that this was manufactured by who said manufactured it.
Yeah. That's awesome stuff. Okay. So then, yeah, I mean, you've come here too, and you printed a lot of, like, obviously, I couldn't rip that or anything, on very interesting material that seems like it's very tough and kind of almost like battle ridden. So what's the strategy with that? Are you like using a specific kind of material that's what you're printing most of your products with, or like that's kind of what you're, I guess, not like advising, but basically like kind of directing people towards if they want to, print something for, I don't know, what other thing? I don't even know how I'm like trying to word this, but do you get what I'm kind of saying?
Yeah, you're trying to come up with an example of a product, and the potential is infinite. So you're having a struggle with that. And I know you heard one of the audience members ask, "What's your favorite product you ever printed?" Man, if I had a set for every time I heard that, right?
Yeah.
The uniqueness in the variety of materials that you can 3D print is quite vast, beyond measure. I find it challenging to 3D print flexible, rubber based material, whether it's a soft rubber or a harder, rubber style. Same thing for your engineering grade products as well.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't bring any of those for an example. Again, how unique can you make your products? And that starts with not only the design, but what material did you source? Is it a traditional plastic, or is it something a little bit more unique, like a flexible material? So
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So essentially you're using this to kind of empower not only just Bitcoiners, but anybody who kind of wants to print in some way, shape, or form their own, and kind of be, I guess, self-sovereign in that aspect. Is that, I guess, along the lines of the mission of Eden 3D printing?
Absolutely. Not only push the boundaries on what the hardware is capable of. Similar, thank you very much, Super Testnet, for producing the code of the Eden 3D network. How can we connect better to each other? But ultimately, said it earlier, but same thing in regards of how you go and custody your Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just leaving it on Coinbase, or do you have, like a BIP39 on top of your cold card, or something that you're actually holding for yourself? I really trying to push a 3D printer in every home, and not only a 3D printer in every home, but the ability for that person to very easily go and create extremely complex geometries with vastly different materials all incorporated into one product. Just think about like a thermos, for example.
Yeah.
Right. You have the steel thermos to keep the drink warm. You have maybe a harder plastic or something on the bottom so it doesn't scratch a surface. And then you have a rubber, edge
for grip.
Yeah, for your grip to go and actually hold the cup. We're not quite there yet to be able to manufacture something in the home like that. We can do it separately and assemble, but I'm really working towards a world where for like less than $1,000 machine or $500 machine, you could print those exotic materials into one seamless product in one single print.
Yeah.
So, just imagine what you could do with that.
That's
from there.
Crazy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the possibilities are extremely endless when it comes to that. So, so where are you, I guess, in the overall journey of getting to that point? And then, what did you come down here to try to? I know you said you came here to basically help PlebLab, but how can somebody that's listening help you out on that mission? Are you looking, I guess, to raise, or are you looking for, maybe some specific type of help to help you get there?
Yeah, excellent question. I have a very difficult time asking for help, so that's why I probably dodged that question.
Yeah.
But really, we've talked to several VCs. They're very interested in furthering this mission.
Yeah.
And funny enough, not necessarily Bitcoin venture capitalist or angel or any type of funding like that. I found the hard way. I've been doing this for a long time. Manufacturing hardware is very hard.
Yeah.
Hence the name. So it's not like writing some software that you can just whip up and get it to 1 million people. There's a lot of capital expenditure involved up front.
Yeah.
Again, as you saw, the second kind of edition of our workstation, the Eden edition of the Voron models.
Yeah.
it's a lot of money up front
Yeah.
for all that stuff. So what we're really looking for is how can we go and provide value to, the actual customer base, meaning how can somebody go and actually utilize one of our products? So that'd be the easiest way. Start with your software, start with your, your designs, and kind of work from there. We do have some designers, like to call them Edenpreneurs. Funny enough. So
I like that. Everything around Eden.
Yeah, everything around the Garden of Eden. You're trying to get back to the paradise that I think God has given us like that. I know we all fell from that, but there's no shame to strive for greatness in that regard. So just to really answer your question, just really looking for what we can go and actually provide value in regards of helping others design. So maybe that's in the education department. I mentioned we did multiple workshops, TAB conference, the Atlanta Bitcoin conference, BitBlock Boom. Gary was just here. We talked to him for a little bit. Miami as well, several others. But really it's, can we help you on the education side? Are you frustrated with your Ender 3? Yeah. I don't like to admit it in that sense, but you get what you pay for. If it's a $200 piece of hardware, you're going to be calibrating a $200 piece of hardware. If you spend $2,000, it's a little bit easier to maintain, and you get a higher quality product. Exactly. You absolutely would hope so.
Yeah.
So that's really where we're looking at, not necessarily actively fundraising at the moment, but just very blessed to be able to go and continue to keep producing. Honestly, I didn't even mention all the partnerships that we have. And I know on our podcast, a couple months ago, the amount of products and services that are going to be coming from Eden over the next year or 2 years is really substantial. Shout out to Voltage again. Obviously PlebLab to, I don't want to say other names like that. I don't want to give too much away, but it's
you
a lot.
Stay tuned.
Yes, definitely. Definitely stay tuned. But it's providing the value for people if they want something printed. You can go over to plenty of other people. Bitcoin Manor in Canada. Shout out to Rick at Crypto Cloaks and Mopar Mining as well. Wonderful, people to go and print and get your products. Isaac in the United Kingdom, Silk Experience, Patrick Gober as well. So it's not just me. There's many people globally doing this, but I always find it unique from my perspective. How can I go and be a differentiating factor? Not just, hey, what do you want 3D printed? It's no, how can I give you the proper tools to go and print something for yourself?
I gotcha. So your mission is more so, I guess, to educate, provide maybe hardware and software that makes it easier for people. Whereas maybe some of these others, and there's nothing wrong with it, but they, you ask them to kind of design it and they print it out, I guess, and either distribute it just to you, or they do something where, it's more, I guess, a marketplace where they can sell their 3D printed goods.
And really, you should specialize. There's a reason why you specialize. What Rick at CryptoCloaks does is very high quality.
Yeah.
And the output shows.
Yeah, and he does great work there for sure.
He does wonderful work. And I would hope that he would say the same in our category at that angle through observation. But do you want to have somebody else go and write down your 2 out of 3 multi-sig keys and store it for themselves, or do you want to take that responsibility? It's a lot of hard work to go and design at that level or to manufacture at that level. Yeah. And you should specialize, but you should be able to do it for yourself if you really, really want to be self-sovereign.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring that up at the end here, about being self-sovereign, because I think that's where, the overlap in Bitcoin and 3D printing really lies, right? I mean, exactly like you're saying, you can essentially be self-sustained where if you need something, I don't know, some tool or something like that, you don't have to run to the store and hope that this, big box retailer or whatever it is has a certain type of tool or whatever. You can print a certain, I don't know, size nail or something like that. Like there's so many different possibilities that you can, be able to fix, or I don't know, your washer or dryer breaks or something like that, and it's missing just a small little piece where you're gonna have to order it from the manufacturer, and it takes weeks on end to get that thing.
You just said it right there. The surprising application for 3D printing for yourself is that example. Say you have a hinge on your refrigerator door that goes bad. The part may be available on Alibaba for like 15 cents, but if it takes 4 or 5 weeks to get there, why can't I just go and take a picture of that, extrude that out, and then go and print it for myself? Funny enough, it's probably going to be way higher quality, as you just saw trying to rip just this piece of rubber wrist, we call it our wand band. Got some other versions for that, but what quality are you producing? And then now we get into how we have been just stripped. Again, I'm in the Midwest, how we have been stripped of our manufacturing base and our actual trade work. Everybody is a finance bro or wants to write software or something like that. Well, somebody's got to go and fix the toilet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So who's going to do it?
Yeah. I actually had somebody on here earlier in the week. I don't know if he's still hanging around in here. Can't remember his name, but he's essentially, building a app where it's kind of like for construction workers where they can, hold this Bitcoin in escrow, so to speak. And define the proof of work, or not the proof of work, the scope of work and all that kind of stuff. So I really do think like the trades are going to be kind of making a comeback, and like this self-sovereign aspect that you're describing, where it's like, fridge or whatever, like as we're getting farther away from, like I guess encouraging more of these tech jobs or whatever it is, like I think more people are going to have to figure out, exactly like you're saying, fixing their own products or whatever it is, appliances, all that kind of stuff, because there's not going to be as many people just working in those things and those things inevitably break down at some point in time.
And what the quality of the China is outputting there.
Yeah.
Right. When they put out, and I'm not saying anything bad specifically to China in that sense, but when you manufacture something at that scale, and you just don't have that concept of where is it going, of course it's going to be junk, and you're going to grab it. You're going to accidentally, tighten the screw wrong, and the whole thing cracks.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do there? And it's not just manufacturing. We're not doing it now, but you go down the rabbit hole of, sourcing your own local grass-fed beef, right? And taking care of your health in that sense. And there's so many different rabbit holes that Bitcoin naturally leads you down with a guiding hand. And I've just found, I have a welding background. So 3D printing it's a robotic welder.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the gun on the thing, and I got the gun on the axis, and I don't have to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
It does it all for me, and it makes way better stuff than I could ever. So
yeah, that's awesome stuff. So, all right. So you're looking potentially for some people to help, even though you don't like to ask for it. And then you're looking for potentially a little bit of a raise. And
by the way, we've already done a raise too. We did our initial pre-seed round in 2017, and then we did our official seed round in it was technically November of 2019, but the check finally came in like December, and then we cashed it in January of 2020. So so this would be, so again, kind of to that point, you want to even just lightly touch on the legacy financial markets just the past week or so. You want to talk about being a Bitcoin only startup. Okay, we got a very small family and friends seed round in 2019. I already knew what Bitcoin was and why I was putting it there, and thank the Lord above that we did, because we saw what happened. Now it did hurt after I pulled the trigger, and then it drops by 50%. But
it always seems to happen that way, doesn't it?
It does. But I'd actually ran the numbers back just to kind of show some other potential prospects on the shareholder side, and we outran the average startup by the average startup normally does a raise every 18 months. I don't care how much you raise. Telegram was a perfect example. They raised $1 billion for their crap token, and then 18 months they're broke. We surpassed that, going well into the 36th, 40th month. I'm sorry, not 40th month. We're way past. We're not even at that point. But I think it was 28 to 30 months.
Yeah.
that we were at after that initial 2019
Raise.
raise. So again, I knew that intuitively going into that, saying, okay, the average startup is forced to raise every 18 months, which means they really go broke in 12, but they somehow slide another 6 months out of them. And I was very proud of myself to surpass that.
Yeah,
Because
that's awesome, man.
you were just hyper aware of what the average market is. So that's a shout out to founders that are looking to either get into Bitcoin or Bitcoin startups. Definitely, please continue to keep your stuff in cold storage and be patient. There's no need to rush. People know that I'm not moving very quickly. We were just talking earlier. You're wearing so many hats. The podcast, we talked more so about the meetups rather than Eden.
Yeah.
But there's a silver lining in all of that, and we kind of touched on that earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't be discouraged if you're moving too slow.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that, and you're seeing angles differently than others. So definitely, keep on keeping on.
100%. And so with this next raise, what is the, I guess, overall strategy to, for growth, and what's the next step?
So it's kind of a two-prong approach there. I really would like more people to have the tooling available, meaning on the software side, to go and actually design. We need more CAD designers. Please go and learn how to draw CAD and make your own print and place models and other cool things like that. But it does no good if you don't have anywhere to print.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult if you're frustrated printing on a $200 machine. So that initial raise, we are, again, I don't want to announce anything, but close to signing a, it's not anything substantial, but it is a wonderful partnership to go and be the manufacturer provider for a small local farm in our area, meaning a manufacturing farm to go and output all that. And the second prong approach is how can we go and make it easier for plebs like yourself and others to go and create Bitcoin products.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily print or have a machine nearby, but what tooling is available for you either on your phone, mobile, or on a desktop side to go and make a final product a lot easier than opening up. I know the guys in the chat are going to hate me for saying that, but opening up Fusion 360 or something and drawing what you need. I know they think it's easy, but it's a process.
Yeah.
It's no different than like Disney's animation studio. They're highly skilled, animators, and we were just talking about editing too.
Yeah.
Getting out content. How do you get out content that looks great?
Yeah.
Right. So those are really the main two areas. Hopefully we can kind of lock in this manufacturing deal, and I can get some upfront cash to go and deploy for some more machines in other areas, and then kind of use those profits to say, okay, how can we go and apply that at the pleb level to say, hey, download this app and you can, 10x your output and get compensated for sats.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Well, Max, if they wanted to figure out, I guess, what is going on, the updates for Eden, and or maybe potentially contact you for a raise or something, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
Yeah, please follow our Twitter account. It's at Eden 3D Printer. We're quite
following it.
I think you are. I think we're following each other on there. Yeah. If not, I'll make sure that we are. I know we're quite quiet, but do not hesitate to reach out. And I just want to give a big shout out, whether they know it or not, that they've helped in the past significantly, is to 1031, Jonathan and Grant. You guys have, helped me out tremendously on just conversation and advice like that. Same thing for Oleg over at Folger Ventures, and Mike and team over at Lightning Ventures as well. So
shout out Muzz.
Yes. Shout out Muzz as well. We've all had conversations, and I know you guys are itching to get back with me on that. I know it's all on me. So, but yeah, definitely follow our Twitter account. Go to our website, eden3dprinter.com. Stay tuned. And if you're interested in joining the additive manufacturing revolution, just shoot me an email, max@eden3d.io, max@eden3d.io. Go from there.
Awesome stuff. Well, Max, thanks so much for coming in, man. It was a pleasure talking to you again.
As always, man.
All right, man. I'm sure we'll be hanging out here shortly, dude.
So, absolutely, yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
I appreciate it. So yeah, everybody go follow ED3D Printer, and Yeah, I think you
There
were
you
the
go.
last presentation today, weren't you?
Yeah, right now we're I think they're doing a startup panel.
Yeah, they're
I
doing
believe
just a
right now.
panel now. Yeah, with Carr
So
and
what
the
are we gonna
fellas.
do? We're just gonna riff for.
If you want to keep riffing, we can. I mean, it's up to you. Yeah, I mean, I've been talking.
Well, you're
here
the
for
one that's been grinding on the live stream
Yeah,
the past
man.
What, a week or so. You
Yep.
said you've been almost every single day.
Yeah, every single day.
you have
Yeah.
been,
So Monday I did 2 hours, Tuesday 2 hours, Wednesday 1. Yesterday I did 3, and then today I think with this an hour and a half in, it'll be 4 and 4-ish.
Please.
4.5.
Like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Make sure you ring that bell. Follow Green Candle
Yep.
Investments. Please. He puts out
thank you.
wonderful content. And seriously, I know I mentioned that before, but it's really impressive to watch how you've grown
Thank you, man. I really appreciate
in
that.
such a short time. I feel so old in the space entering in 2012. Again, no, I'm not a massive Bitcoin holder and anything like that, like I could be, but it's really incredible to see, people like yourself kind of, come about in the past 2 or 3, 4 years, however long you've been in the space, and then providing content and being able to do stuff like this. It gives me a lot of hope for the next generation that comes in, the 2024 Bitcoiners, right? Or the people that are, learning about what happened during the week.
Yeah, the banks and all that stuff. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, and I'm truly blessed to get to know people like yourself who have been in it for a long time. And call you a friend, man.
I call you a friend.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
dude. I loved being. I know we connected over the internet. I don't think we met. This is our first time meeting in person. I want to say.
Yeah, we've never met in person.
Yeah,
that's what's so great about Bitcoin.
Yeah,
you have Bitcoin brothers and sisters all over the world. And then you meet them in real life.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, on that note, we'll keep connecting offline and we'll get off camera here. And I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
All right, let's wrap it up here.
Wrap it up. Take care, everybody.